up, YouTube? It's your girl DeeDee. Welcome or welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are doing well. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Go ahead, put a 1 in the chat if y'all can hear me perfectly fine. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. If you can hear me, 1 in the chat if y'all can hear me. And as you come into the building, make sure you hit the like button. It is free to like. Hit the like button. Hit the like button, you guys. Thumbs up the stream. Thumbs up the stream. 1 is in the chat if y'all can hear me loud and clear. Thank y'all so much for being here. So y'all can hear me. That's good. Lord, thank the Lord. Y'all can hear me. So thank y'all so much for being here. As you come into the building, make sure you hit the thumbs up button. That is super important. If you are new to the channel and you like the content, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. It is free to subscribe. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. It is free to subscribe. All right. So shout out to everybody in the building so far. Shout out to Future King. What's going on? Queen of Vibes in the building. Divine Photos. Jay Tillman, Octavius, Mackenzie, The Hawk, TV, XYZ, BTAS. I hope I'm saying that right, for life. What's going on? Thank y'all so much for being here. Make sure you guys are hitting the like button as you come into the building. So I'm not going to keep y'all too long today, but Happy New Year to you guys. I want to say Happy New Year. I hope you guys have a blessed new year and a prosperous life, and everything good comes to your life. So I'm putting that out there, If you're not already blessed, and if you are already blessed, you're going to continue to be even more blessed. And we're going to just put nothing but greatness out there in the atmosphere for everybody watching this stream. So thank y'all for being here. We gonna jump right into the stream, y'all. I don't want to take too much of your time. Title: The Matriarchy Has Ruined Modern Women, plus single mom crashes out, plus more. So that's what we're going to be talking about. Of course, I have a couple of clips for you guys that I want to share, and I definitely want you to chime in the chat. So definitely give me your thoughts about what you think. Also, if you are feeling generous and you want to support the channel, all you got to do is thumbs up the stream. But if you want to also donate to the channel, you can do that via Super Chat or Cash App. If you would like to support the channel, you can do that as well. Or you can support by purchasing my merchandise, t-shirts, a mug, anything like that. That will all definitely support the channel. So we're going to get right into it, you guys. I'm going to go ahead and pull up this clip now. Honestly, look, I saw this clip on Crimson Cure. Shout out to the Crimson Cure. She has great, y'all know I love her channel. She has great content, love, everything about her, honestly. But I saw this on her channel the other day, and I found the clip, and I want to address this because I think this speaks on a lot of how, or speaks to how a lot of modern women think, in my opinion. I think we focus so much on the negativity associated with men. Society likes to focus on men, specifically black men. Let's be real, black men, and the downfalls of black men, and how men have contributed to the downfall of the black community, and how men are just, doing the worst. But we never look at the matriarchy. We never look at the women. We never look at the thought process behind the mentality of modern women. Where did it come from? Because a lot of people, we all speak on the fact that a lot of our fathers were not in the household for whatever reason. That's a whole nother topic. For whatever reason, the fathers were not in the household, right? Whether the fathers ran off, or whether the mothers ran them off, or whether they were never there to begin with, because that's something a lot of modern women don't like to address, the fact that a lot of these women did not prioritize a husband or a man in general. They prioritize having a good time. That's a difference. And that's the part people don't want to hone in on. All you want to talk about is the responses, or the circumstances, or the outcomes associated with certain behavior. But when it comes to the matriarchy, people don't want to talk about how that has negatively impacted the black community, negatively impacted the children of that generation, and what they were taught, and how it's negatively affecting them now. So we're gonna kind of dive in a little bit on it, because it's something that a lot of people don't talk about. And I think that's where I like to focus on, because so much has always been placed on the men, but not the women. And I say it all the time. But I'm gonna show you this clip, and if you guys have already seen this, you already know what I'm talking about. But this shows you the mentality of a lot of the women who raised us. A lot of women who raised us, the women who raised them, and the women who raised them. And it's not all peaches and cream. It's not all, this great situation. A lot of those women from the matriarchy are the ones who ruined it for the modern women today. And I think a lot of women are afraid to address that because they're so, gung-ho on pushing a narrative that the men are so much the problem, when a lot of these women don't have good relationships with their mothers, and their mothers don't have good relationships with their mothers. But why is that? Why is that? And we can't just say, oh, the men weren't there and the women raised these kids. But why are a lot of these women damaged and traumatized, and have this idea, not just the part when we talk about you don't need a man and take care of yourself and, just go get your education, don't prioritize. Not just that. There's another aspect to it, the psychological, mental aspect of how a lot of these women and men have been traumatized by their own mothers. There are a lot of men and women who don't have good relationships with their mothers because their mothers were a problem. And this is a generational thing that is continuously being perpetuated. And the sisterhood does not want to tap into that because it would show a lot of fault on the mothers and not just on the fathers. See, they point to the obvious. Oh, the fathers weren't there. They don't like to talk about why, but oh, they're just not there. And this is the problem with the community. But the mothers who were there, what's the explanation for the mothers who were there who raised these traumatized children, these traumatized sons and daughters who don't want a relationship with them or don't have a good relationship with it? We're going to talk about it because there are a lot of men and women who have grown up and who despise their mothers in particular, because if the fathers weren't there and the mothers were holding it down, they were doing such a great job. What happened? Because you can't blame that on the fathers. You are a person. If the fathers weren't there, that's one thing. That has some trauma and some effects as well. But if the mothers were consistently there, what about their trauma? How did they deal with their trauma? Because getting therapy and all that is relatively new. Back in the day, there was no therapy. People found other ways to cope with their issues in many different ways. So therapy and all of this, family and all these things, go get some therapy and all that. That is relatively new. And in the Black community, a lot of people didn't even think about therapy or thought about it or didn't even think that it was necessary. So we're gonna get into it. It comes from a place. It just didn't come out of the thin blue sky. And the attitude of modern women is not all attributed to them to not having a father in a household. It comes from the mothers as well. So I want to play this clip of this woman talking to her granddaughter, and I want y'all to chime in and let me know what you think. Here we go.
You can be sad in another bruh, crying over a mother piss ass. I drop his ass and get me 10 more. You can't get nigga. You must be ugly as fuck. That was a question. Do you hear me? See, you ain't none of my granddaughter. Cause I have a goddamn pay all my goddamn bills. My rent, my gas, my light, my every goddamn thing. Even pay my goddamn mother car note. Bitch. Slow ass. See, I have a goddamn in every code, bitch.
So did y'all hear that? She said she would have a man in every area code. So that's her granddaughter, right? And some people were in the comments like saying, oh well, grandma don't play and all this. No, To me, that seems like a toxic grandmother. Basically, what she's telling her granddaughter, stop crying over a man. I guess allegedly she had a bad situation with a dude and maybe she was, feeling sad about it. And the grandma is like, calling her out her name, calling her the B word, talking to her like she's some type of pimp lady. You know what I'm saying? And the girl looked like she's traumatized by that. And when she basically is telling her what we hear women say now, oh, you need a man to pay this. You need multiple men to do this. You need a man for this. You need a man for that. Let's finesse men. Let's not take them seriously. Let's just go out and get to the bag. That's what we hear now. And a lot of these older women in the matriarchy are the ones who set the tone, in my opinion. And once again, I'm not saying it's not every woman, but it's the ones that are. Okay. And it's a lot of women out there who have pushed this narrative. Like I said before, I've heard growing up, as a young girl, use what you got to get what you want. This is something I've been hearing since I was young. And basically didn't understand it at first, but as I got older, I understood, meaning use your body to get what you want. This is where women feel like, hey, as a woman and you have a vagina, there's no way you should be broke. Because they're insinuating that, hey, as long as you got a vagina, you should be getting paid. So that means what? Sell your body so that you can make some money, because you should never go without because you have a vagina. So basically, you're pushing your daughters and your granddaughters to be hoes. You're pushing them out here to think that your body is out here for sale, because that's what that means. Your body is the key to your success. But once again, once you start responding to what they're saying, they really do be the same ones that turn around and shame you for it. It's a fact. It's a fact. I've seen it happen in real life. Like these women, I remember old ladies sitting out on the porch, just sitting there looking at the young girls wearing little short skirts and looking at the girls talking to the older guys. And they sitting back, they talking about, look at her fast tail. Look at she too fast. That skirt is too high. Oh, she gonna end up pregnant. Oh, look at her. She's out here hoeing and doing all this. But those are the main ones that push that narrative. And nobody talks about it. Because they're afraid to shift the blame to the people they know directly affected their lives in a negative way. They're afraid to address their mothers and their grandmothers because it's a painful thing. To know that the people that say they love you, the people that are in your lives, are the very ones who have led you astray. So it's a hard thing to have to turn around and say, hey, mama, or hey, you're the one that told me this. You're the one that stressed me out. You're the one traumatized me. You're the one brought all these men in the household and exposed us to these men. You exposed us to being, taken advantage of. You're the one who set the tone for our trauma. You're the one who put this in place, but we're supposed to act like that didn't happen and just blame the men because that's what they did. Oh, don't look at me. Don't do as I do. You do something else. But if that's all that you've experienced, that's all that you've seen, that's all that you know, how is that supposed to work? Then turn around and act like they were just so great of parents. You were so great. You didn't do nothing wrong. You were you were just the perfect parent, because there were no parents, the perfect parent as the mother, and all the trauma and all the stuff you left these kids with. You walk away and act like you had nothing to do with it, and now they're left to their own devices trying to pick up the pieces. But these are the generation of women that we see now, and men, who have been traumatized by their mothers. Their mothers have treated them badly, poorly, and they're supposed to grow up and just give her the highest regard and the highest honor. Is a bunch of BS to me. Now, you can do that if you want, but that's living in La La Land, in my opinion. And so those kids grow up with all of that toxicity, all of the trauma, and they never get any help or never talk to nobody. And what happens? Then you grow up and you start getting into relationships. Start trying to be a grown-up and trying to deal with all the things that you've been, hiding and pushing to the background. It comes out when you deal with a man, when you get into a relationship with a man. Now you're spewing all of the hatred, all of the bitterness that you have toward the people who raised you and made you the way you are, helped to shape who you are, I'll say. you spew all that out in the relationship. So the person you end up getting with, they get you trauma dump all of that issue, all of your issues onto them. And somehow the man is supposed to be the one to help you pick up the pieces and make your life better and give you all the things that you have been missing. And this is where we are now. A bunch of women really do think that a man is supposed to come in whole. That's the whole point of wanting him whole, to come in and make you better, deal with you. That means deal with everything that comes with you, all of the trauma, all the stuff that you've been holding in your whole life from your mothers, your grandmothers, the women in your community who have helped to shape you to be who you are, and it's toxic. They walk away because there's no accountability on their part. Oh, you think them old broads got some accountability? Hell no. You know, they're stuck in their ways. They are who they are. You're supposed to accept what they say, respect them, and all their trauma and bitterness that they've put on you. You can't say anything to them. So the next best thing is to say, oh, men are all the problem. All the women are perfect. No matter how ratchet they have been, no matter how bitter and chaotic they have been, you're supposed to just act like they were never there. They never taught you some bad stuff. They, and how did they, if a lot of us are lost, if a lot of us have trauma and have not fully resolved our issues, you think your mothers and your grandmothers and your great grandmothers were able to resolve all of their issues? You think do you think that they didn't have more issues than us? See, we're privy to talking to people. We're privy to exposing, or expressing ourselves and talking to people. You can go get therapy online. You got many different resources. They didn't have all those resources back then. As Black people, they didn't have all those resources. So how do you think they dealt with their trauma? They really didn't. So you think that they had it all together and they knew everything and they did everything right? I'm sorry, they didn't. And, and I saw this article and it asked the question, is the female feminist perspective always right simply because they've been allegedly ignored in the past? This is where people get this, modern women get this idea that, because in the past women, didn't have access to this and they were kind of ignored and they weren't at the forefront and it was dominated by men, that somehow now that women are able to do more, they can work, they can get degrees, they can do this and do that. Somehow now, because they're included, that everything that they say is right. That's a fallacy as well. So I just think, look, the way women move, the way they act, what they think and how they feel and what they say has a lot to do with how they were raised. And the majority of them were raised by women. The majority of them were raised by women, and a lot of their ideals and a lot of the things and what they think comes from a woman. And somehow that escapes them. They don't want to focus on that. Oh, my mother did it all by herself. Yes, she struggled. Well, if she struggled, don't you think there was some mental issues going on there as well? Don't you think that there was some psychological things going on with her as well, trying to struggle and raise those kids by herself? Many people in our generation know what that struggle looks like and how it affected us. We know how it affected us. We know we didn't have a lot. We know what our mothers were doing. We know they weren't prioritizing marriage. We know they was out in these streets drinking and opening and busting it wide open and having babies for Pookie, Ray Ray, John, and the Skip. We know what they were doing. This is why I say this is nothing new. It is nothing new, but I think a lot of women are afraid to point it out. They're afraid to point it out. They're afraid to point out the obvious and how it affected them and how it's still affecting them today. And so I just think, look, this video here, it basically just shows you how a lot of those women have led these women astray. And once again, as much as modern women want to blame all the men, you gotta put that blame on your mothers, your grandmothers. I said it, your aunties, the people who have steered you the wrong way. The people have told you, even though they were married and supposedly if you let these women tell you they had a miserable life because they didn't have a bank account, but they stayed married, because they had to. And so I think it's put a negative connotation on what relationships should look like and what you should be looking for in a relationship. These women are stuck on the past even though it wasn't their experience, but it's what was told to them. And then you have women like the woman in this video who are teaching their daughters and their granddaughters, giving them a message that is not going to be beneficial to them, that, because of their experiences. I said this before, a lot of women speak on things that they've never experienced. They're just going off what their grandmothers told them, what their mothers told them, but not what they've actually experienced themselves. And they take that and they run with it, and they apply it to their lives. And it didn't work for your grandmothers and your mothers. It didn't work for them. So why do you think that perpetuating that is going to work for you? This is why I say modern women need a new set of rules. They need a new set of it. You need some new advice. You need something that's going to steer you away from what you was taught in the past, because now they're just running on autopilot with it. Now it's just, this is just what it is. They don't even have to think about it. And anything you say counter to that, it's a problem, because it's so entrenched and so ingrained in them. They don't know anything else, and they're not trying to really get any other information, because they believe that even though it's not working for them, they're still going to believe it. And I think that that's a major problem. And this is where I say it's not all on the men. I think that's something they want to portray and push. I think a lot of women have been mentally disturbed for years. A lot of women have not gotten any help for the issues they've had growing up in their lives. They have not found any peace or anything, that would better their situations and their mental capabilities. And they're just out here coasting. And then they're dumping their trauma onto their daughters and their sons grow up and their daughters grow up, and then they have children and they do the same thing, and it's continuously perpetuated. And now it's to a point where these women are just lost. They don't know which way to go. They don't know what to turn, how to turn, what to turn to, what to do. So the focus is always just money. Just give me money. Give me money. You hear what this lady said? Look, she had every man in every area code to pay her light bill, her this, all her bills. So look how old she is. Where do you don't think that these young women are getting that and grasping that? And now that's what they're saying. Pay all my bills. Where do you think it came from? That idea didn't come from men. That came from women. These older broads are the ones telling me, go get money from a man. If a man want to talk to you, he should be paying your bills. And they running with that because it's one, they believe it, and it's something that they need. Even if they do work and take care of themselves, the idea was always to not prioritize a man, not prioritize marriage, prioritize yourself. Prioritize you, what you want to do to better your life, but at the end still require a man to be traditional and pay all your bills, because that's what women are supposed to do. And it's literally messing these women up. It really is. It's literally messing them up. They are not, and it's mind-boggling to me that we're about to be in 2025, and women have more resources than ever. You can't keep talking about, you can't have a bank. You can have multiple bank accounts. You can have a business. Nothing is stopping you from achieving your goals and your dreams, whatever. But we're in a time where we have all this access to all of these things, but the women they don't seem happy to me. A lot of them seem miserable. They're crashing out. They're the most miserable. They're the most depressed, most confused. They're out here, just don't know which way to turn, still struggling. But this is the things that they ask for. You ask to be equal, to be able to work and take care of yourself, and now you can do it. And a lot of these women still seem miserable and unhappy with their lives. I played that video the other day. I don't know if I played it, maybe today or yesterday, of the woman with all the degrees. She got all these degrees, and she's even married, but she still wants something else. There's no, at what point do you just be content and happy with your life? We got all these so-called boss chicks and all these so-called independent women. They don't need a man because they could take care of themselves. Out here crashing out, miserable, complaining, talking about, where is my person? Why do you need a person? If you could take care of yourself and you don't need them, why is your person important to you now? I don't understand it. And it's like, the women who they like to say back then were were unhappy. Well, they sure seemed like it. They lived their lives, stayed with their husbands till one of them passed away, and they lived their lives and did what they did, and they didn't seem miserable as the women, as miserable as these women are today. You know, and then I say this too. Look, life, nothing's perfect. Life isn't perfect, but it's what you make it. It's what you make of it. If you're walking around always having a problem, always miserable, always looking for something more, you're never going to be happy. Everybody's out here looking for happiness. Tia Mowry out here looking for a graduation and a celebration, and she wants to be her happiness, and she's on her journey. And throughout her journey, she does. I mean, it doesn't seem genuine. Her happiness seems like she's struggling. Well, I'll say she's struggling with that, and I hope she finds her happiness. But nothing is ever good enough. Nothing is ever enough. They're always on this continuous search of being happy. You could give a woman the world as much as you can. Be good to her. Treat her right. Love her and respect her. They're still going to have a problem because they haven't dealt with themselves. These women, a lot of women and men, to be honest, are struggling because they haven't resolved the issues from their childhood and from the mothers who raised them, who either exposed them to some traumatic events, talked to them crazy, treated them horribly. A lot of these people have not, those things have not been resolved. And a lot of it won't be resolved because it has everything to do with their toxic mothers. And I'm not exempting fathers from this because I do think children need both mothers and fathers. But if we're going to say the fathers weren't there and all the kids knew was the mothers didn't do a much better job, is all I'm saying. They didn't do a much better job than the men they always talk about and complain about. You would think that with the matriarchy, all of the children would be stellar. They would be so great and they would be so well-rounded and they would have it all together and they would know what to do. But these women lacked certain things themselves. This is why they're in the situation that they were in. They didn't have the direction from their mothers. They didn't have the direction. They grew up and had kids and did the same thing. You know, their mother was a single mother. They became a single mother and then their daughters become single mothers because y'all all are perpetuating the same mentality, the same mindset. And it is not benefiting you. But you would have to search high and low to find women who will honestly display that information and really look at it for what it really is. If anything, they sugarcoat it. They hate to really address it because either their mother's going to get on them or be mad at them because they know what it is. I saw a video of a woman who clearly said her mother was a hoe. Her mother was out in these streets, going to jail, doing everything. And then say, oh, the father wasn't around. Why would you think the father be around that? Why? And if she's running the streets and the hoe in the streets, why you think that relationship would thrive and they would stay together? Come on now. If you're toxic and you're out you're for the streets, what man is going to stay with you in the midst of that? See, this is what I say. The blame is pushed on the men for either not being there or for walking away. But the blame is not placed on these women who have had mental issues and didn't know what they were doing. A lot of them were teen mothers. There's nothing, oh, my mom had me when I was 14. Okay, that's not a red flag to you. Yeah, but you know, we struggle, but she did the best she could. And yeah, of course you love your mom. Of course. But just because you love somebody doesn't mean that you can't hold them accountable. You can't say, Mom, hey, you know, when you brought all those men in the house and we was, 8 years old, that made me feel a certain kind of way, or Mom, one of those men tried to touch me, or whatever it is. You can't address that because they're going to have amnesia and then they're going to act like it didn't happen now because they're older and they found God. And so now you can't tell them nothing because now God took over, erased all the bad stuff and gave them a new life and none of that existed. And whatever trauma you went through as a kid, oh, just throw that, oh, that didn't happen. Oh, just get over it. This is the mentality of our mothers and some of our grandmothers. So how do you think that person growing up dealing with that is going to be when it comes to relationships and men? It's going to be a problem. And that's what we're seeing right now. And I really think people need to get to the bottom of that. You really need to get some healing for real because the men aren't really your problem. And even for men who wasn't in their children's lives when they were young, but then they y'all develop a relationship later on, the women who actually regain or get a relationship with their fathers later on in life, they tend to have good relationships with their fathers. If they can rekindle that, a lot of them have good relationships. When you talk to the father and you realize what was really happening, it's even more of a strain on the relationship with the mothers than the fathers. And it's not a new thing, and it shouldn't be shocking, but it's just the way women talk, the way they make it seem is like the fathers were just so bad and the mothers were so great. And the mothers are the one who raised the generation of people that we have now, and a lot of them are out of their goddamn mind. But there's no accountability even on that part. So they keep doing it, and no accountability. At some point, you're not gonna have room to blame men. If the men are all separated from y'all and y'all left to your own devices, which they have been, and look at the mess that we're looking at now. Look at the culture. Look at Sexy Red and all this stuff, and the kids, and the mothers are leading these households. And look how it is falling apart. So we gotta stop shifting the blame only to men, but also accept the fact that women have played a major role in the downfall of the Black community, and they're still doing it, and there's no accountability whatsoever. If anything, you should be mad at your mama. Your mama, you should be on here, stop talking about, oh, my daddy wasn't around. Your mama was. And what did she teach you? How to be selfish, how you don't need nobody, how to take care of yourself, set you up for failure, told you to need a man, and she can't help you, because a lot of the women nowadays are the ones who are the breadwinners and the ones who have accomplished something to make more money than the whole family has ever made. And now you end up having to take care of your mother, take care of the people in your life. You're the one who's, pressured to have to take care of them, because they weren't really able to take care of you in many cases as best as they could. They did the best they could, and the best that they could do wasn't good enough in most cases. But you're supposed to regard them in a high regard and say, oh, she was so great, when you know she wasn't. The way you are and the way you think is because of her, but she gets a pass. She gets a pass. And I think that's a problem. It's a much deeper issue than women just being selfish and, independent and educated. I think it's a much deeper issue than that. And I get it. And I think it's something that a lot of women need to work on. I really do. I think women, that's why I say women need a lot more work than they're willing to admit. This is why the shaming is so prevalent. This is why the focus is so much on men, because you have to project. You have to project what you're feeling on the inside, what you're dealing with, to them, because you don't want to project it to the appropriate persons or in the appropriate areas, which is really your mothers, the mothers who have raised you and taught you the wrong things and set you up for failure. A lot of mothers are jealous of daughters. They don't have good relationships. There are women who actually come out and really speak their truth and talk about it, who are not afraid to say what it really was and how traumatizing their upbringing was under the leadership of their mothers. And then they end up having good relationships with their fathers and find out the fathers wanted to be in their lives, how toxic the mother was, and doing everything she could to keep them kids away from the father, because she knew that the father was probably doing a better job than she was, that the father was trying and wanting to be in a child's life, just didn't want a relationship with her because she was the toxic one. And they kept them away, because they knew once those kids knew the real deal of what the father was really about, she would feel bad. She would get mad, because that child is going to want to have a relationship with their father knowing the truth. But this is why they tell you, oh, your father, daddy ain't want to do nothing. He ran off. He didn't want to even have nothing to do with your child. There's some women who lie and say the daddies were dead when they were alive and well. So that these kids won't want a relationship with them, because you're going to feel funny about it. A lot of women move like that. A lot of women hate to see their kids have a healthy relationship with the fathers. They want to be selfish. They want to be looked at as the hero, as the one who, I'm doing everything for you, and now you want to go run over to him? No, see, that's toxic. And this happens far too often. And a lot of these women just keep getting a pass. Oh, there's nothing wrong with that, till they're going to run out of passes. You're going to run out of this type of mindset. It's not going to work. And we're seeing it. We're seeing just the surface of it now, where men are saying, nah, it's changing. It really is. It's changing. And it's only going to get worse for these types of women. if they don't get the help that they need and start seeking counseling and really getting to the root of their issues, baby. Because men are not tolerating that like the men did in the past. These men don't want to be stepdaddies. They don't want to be what they call them crash daddy dummies or something. I don't know. I heard that, I think the other day, crash dummies or crash daddy dummies or something they call them. No, men don't want to do that because they know it's not beneficial to them. And they know a lot of these women, not all, but a lot of these women are out here looking for somebody to finesse. You're looking for somebody to take care of you and your kids because even the fathers of the kids don't want to be around you. And, and then you don't want to give the children to the fathers because that takes leverage from you. If you give the kids to the father, now you can't get child support. You can't get that government assistance. So you need the kids there because you need the support that comes with them. Because there are some fathers who will take their kids. They don't talk about that, though, because every dad is supposed to be a deadbeat and don't give a shit about his children, but that's just not true. So, look, a lot of the problems that we're facing is from the matriarchy, not from the patriarchy. A lot of these women are leading these households, and these children are coming out lost, confused, and detrimental to themselves and society. And nobody is telling these women that they need to do better. And yeah, of course, I watched a woman say, she was young. I mean, I know a lot of teen mothers. Hell, growing up, that's all you saw. That's why I say it. But at the same time, that was just my little anecdotal world. You know what I mean? That wasn't I don't believe that was a representation of the entire, but that was my area of, that's what I'm saying. Nobody got married. They were teen mothers. They were having babies young. There was no fathers. It was stepdaddies. Hell, I had a stepdaddy. Knew my father. He wasn't around, seen him here and there, but I had a stepdad. Everybody in where I grew up had a stepdaddy. Their real dads weren't around. And a lot of one thing these women had in common, they were for the streets. Literally for the streets. Not all of them. There were a few in there who just fell into some, a situation that was, they needed some help and they were there and then they were moved on. There were a few women who actually were married and had their children by their husbands, and the husbands left or whatever. And then they had to, fell on hard times and they had to, get up, struggle, and they had to figure it out. And then they moved on and did better. But the majority of the women, the girls I grew up with and the women in where I grew up at were all single. They were single baby mamas for dudes in the hood right there. And had several babies by the same dude. And the dude had children. Some of them guys had children with multiple women in the community. And nobody was getting married. They was always talking about they engaged. They never get married. So, would you say every man that these women dealt with was a deadbeat? Every man that they had these children for were deadbeats? Or were they out partying and clubbing and having a good time and doing what people do? We grown folks, we're going to go out and we're going to, sleep, bust it wide open and just whatever. And then they end up pregnant. Is that the man is a deadbeat? Or are both of y'all considered deadbeats then? Because if he's considered a deadbeat, so are you. Because you didn't care about getting pregnant. You didn't care about using protection. You didn't care about nothing that happened to your body. You just was out open to have a good time, and that's what you were doing. They were partying, out drinking, out then getting pregnant, and then that wasn't your man. That was just somebody you met in a club, and you busted open for him, and boom, you get his baby. And now you're talking about, these ninjas are deadbeats. You don't even know. You don't need which one. Which one? You don't even know which one knocked you up, honey. Which one? Which one is the deadbeat? Which one? Because that would include you too. Because if you're opening your legs for men you don't know, you met a one night stand and he was cute and y'all left the club and did what you did and boom, you pregnant. How is he the deadbeat? He don't know you. You don't know him. You don't know where to find him. You don't know his last name. You don't know shit about him. But oops, you pregnant now. And then after you've done that several times, all of these ninjas, don't want to take care of responsibility. Child, that's not all on that person. You knew exactly what you were doing. Nobody took advantage of you. You know what you was doing. You kept doing it because you'll get government assistance, you'll get housing, and you're okay with that. So listen, once again, and that's not the case for every situation, but it is it's the case for a lot of them, to be honest with you. And if these people don't get to the root of that and try to figure out how to change that narrative, start being accountable for yourself, then it's going to continuously be a problem. It's going to continue to be a problem. It really is. And once again, the accountability is not just on men, it's on the women too. We can say all day, oh, these men go out and screw these ladies. Baby, I will say this as long as I can. A man can't screw you unless you let him. Okay, he can't, and if he forces himself on you, then that's illegal. That's a problem. You got to report it. He should go to jail. But if he's not doing that, and you're a willing participant, and you're opening your legs to somebody that's not your husband, then you are a willing participant. You are just as guilty as he is, and the blame shouldn't just be put all on him. You are an adult. You know what you're doing because you want to get to the D. That's what they say. You want that same pleasure. So it can't be all on him. You got to take some accountability for your body. Y'all like to say my body, my choice when it comes to getting rid of the damn babies. But you don't want to say my body, my choice when you have the options to say no to sleeping with a random. And then you want to blame the man? It's your body. You're supposed to be in control of what you do with yours. Nobody else can force or make you do anything. And once again, if they did, that's illegal. So you have the control over what you do with your body. And if you don't have no control and you just want to go out there and be reckless, that's all on you. We got to stop eliminating the accountability part for women because men get all the blame put on them. And if you are a reckless dude out here just swinging that thing everywhere and you don't care who you knock up and you don't care about being responsible for a kid that you made, you're a problem. We are, but hey, everybody knows that because that's all everybody talk about. We've been beat in the head about how negligent men have been and how all these deadbeats now. We've been beat in the head with that, but what we haven't been beat in the head with is the fact that a lot of these women are just as reckless. And it doesn't make the fact that he's reckless, it doesn't absolve you as the woman from being just as equally reckless. You have to be accountable for you because it's not going to benefit you, your kids, your relationships, dating, all of that. It's not going to end well for you with that type of mindset, thinking that you have no accountability for your body and your choices. It's insane. But once again, it comes from a place. And you got to start acknowledging what it is. No matter how hurtful it may seem, no matter who you might hurt in the process, the truth shall set you free. I don't believe in sugarcoating and acting as if things don't exist because it doesn't benefit you. It doesn't benefit you. It just keeps you stagnant and it keeps you stuck with those issues. And all they do is come out in many different ways. Why women go out here and act crazy? Why they turn around and do things to their kids? Why do they go in places so bitter and angry they start wanting to fight and always mad? Because you have not worked on yourself. You have not worked on that toxic behavior. You have not gotten to the core of why you're so bitter and angry. And so you spew that out on other people. And as much as they like to talk about, oh, men commit all these crimes, well, women commit them too. Let's stop judging who commits the most. They both do it. So if you're a woman out here, look, there's lots of videos you can find with women doing crazy, deleting their kids and just crazy, insane stuff. And they act like zombies. They don't know why. Why? Because you have been left unchecked. Because society does not hold women accountable. All they do is point the blame to the men. And that's a bigger problem than we could ever imagine. And honestly, it's going to affect them in the most detrimental way. And they don't see it. Oh, just because you could look nice and hook yourself up nice and look pretty don't mean that you're not damaged underneath all of that. And I think for women like that, no, they should not be in relationships. You should not be out here dating because you haven't healed yourself. And as much as they talk about healing and they want a man whole, once again, it's a projection. You haven't healed yourself. Most of these women don't go to therapy. Most of them can't afford therapy. And all these, talk about these boss chicks and all this education, you can't afford no therapy for real. And you're not really out here trying to do it because you think you've gotten it together and you don't have no problems because, the feminists and all these women have told you, girl, you got it and you got some money, so you perfect. No, you can have money and still be toxic. You can have money and still be depressed. Money doesn't make you less depressed or less toxic. If anything, it makes you more toxic. So, it's just a hot mess, and I wanted to play that clip because I thought it says a lot of how of where a lot of this modern women get their thought process from, and where how they think, how they move, and where it comes from. And it comes from a woman. It comes from women. The same way women complain about these men are sassy. Well, if they're sassy, then it's the women who raised them, ma'am. And that means you need to think a little bit harder about having kids by random men, and maybe start thinking about the importance of family and the family structure and why fathers are necessary, and get your mental right, and get yourself on the right track so that you can find a man who's, has his stuff together, and y'all can work together, and a man who wants kids, and y'all can have a family and start trying to do it the right way. And some would argue and say, oh, well, just because there are two parents in the house don't mean the kid's going to be perfect. Well, that's a good point. But at least you're trying to give them the best opportunity of a stable household, because you didn't have a stable upbringing. If you know how traumatized you are and you didn't have a stable upbringing, you didn't have two parents who were there, who were stable, and you know how that affected you, why would you want to recreate that same narrative when you know for a fact that is not a good thing? Yeah, you may be able to come out of it and be okay. A lot of us come from toxic backgrounds and we're okay. But to act as if that doesn't bother you, or you don't have any trauma associated with that, is ridiculous, in my opinion. And I think that's the problem. Once again, no accountability, no actions toward, getting yourself together so that you can be better for your children. It's just perpetuated over and over. And especially with women, because women don't know how to take accountability, and they don't want to accept the fact that they've been wrong. It is what it is. Thank you, Paul, for the super chat. Thank you so much for being here. It says, hey, DeeDee. Shout out to our sister DeeDee. Wishing you and yours a very happy and prosperous new year. I really enjoyed your content in 2024. Thank you, Paul. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for supporting, and happy new year to you as well and your family. Thank you. I appreciate you once again, baby. But, it's just crazy, it's mind boggling. Successful MD, thank you so much for the super chat. Says, many of these women try to prove people wrong by doing it alone. Exactly. That's not honorable. It's stupidity, and the children suffer beyond selfish. It is. And they don't care. They don't care, see, things aren't a problem until it's a problem. You don't worry about it until it becomes a major problem that directly affects you. As much as we hear women talk about, oh, my kids come first, and no, they don't. You come first. It's all about you. It's all about you getting what you want. It's all about you. That's it. It's a selfish mentality. It really is. It's all about you and nobody else. And, and once again, the nature of women is a problem, because the way women think, it comes from a selfish place. And you don't know how to, a lot of women don't know. See, one thing that I've learned too, when you've been raised in a single parent household with a mother who's the only person there, it's sometimes it's hard for women to understand how to work with somebody else, because they didn't see it. You didn't see two parents, work through issues and, resolve problems and stick it together and make it better and work and take care of you, and you got two parents that you have to go to. They didn't see that. All they saw was their mother struggling and, and doing things the way she wanted to do it. So if a man comes in the picture, oh my God, he's a problem automatically, and people like to make it seem like, oh, these men don't want to be with a woman with kids. Well, you got to understand, a lot, and somebody, I saw this in a video where somebody said, oh, these kids don't end up telling the man he's not their daddy. Oh, yes, they do. Oh, yes, the hell they do. A lot of these children do, they get used to just being under their mother's rule. And if a man comes into the picture that's not their daddy, they do tell him, you're not my daddy, you can't tell me what to do. They do that. And they've done that. And so I don't think they really understand the full gravity of how that affects the man who's coming in and trying to lead a household. A lot of these children and the women aren't used to that, because they didn't see it, they weren't taught it, and they just don't know how to go about that. That's why it's always a problem. and that's something that has to change as well. Gray Wind, thank you so much for the super chat. Says, sorry, but a man with his life together, car, job, and no kids, getting with a woman with multiple kids from multiple men is settling and taking a L. I agree. Thank you for the super chat, Gray Wind. I appreciate you. And I agree. But they don't, of course, a woman is going to say, well, that's not settling. A man should be honored to take on a woman with kids. No, the only reason they're telling you that is because they benefit from it. When you hear women say, oh, a man should be honored to take on a single mother because single mothers know better and they've had that experience. I don't give a damn what experience you had. You had an experience in, screwing Pookie and Ray Ray, getting pregnant and having that baby, but that doesn't make you experience in being a good mother and knowing, what's best for your kids and putting your kids first. Because initially you didn't have the mindset of prioritizing marriage first to a good man. No, everybody's out here chasing the streets and chasing D and chasing the thug and having a good time and thinking that you're going to build something out of that when you don't. And then all you end up getting is a baby out of it. And then now you got to fully take care of that child by yourself because he don't care. And now every man is the problem. And now all the men who have prioritized the right things, now they gotta feel shamed into taking on these women with kids when they don't even have no kids themselves. You can't handle the truth. I don't think that that's a fair deal. I don't. Successful MD says they can get therapy. Women pay is zero for money for wigs. Are you saying zero for wigs or money for wigs? They can get therapy. Women pay. I get money for wigs, I guess you're saying. I mean, maybe they could. They pay a lot of money for everything else, if that's what you're saying. Well, if they can get it, they need it. If you can get therapy, you need to get it. Thank you, Successful MD, for the super chat. Darius Coleman, hit the like button, you guys. Go ahead and hit the like button. If you're just joining the live stream, go ahead and hit the like button. Darius Coleman, thank you for the super chat, says, having kids in a Western country, is that for at the moment is a gamble against the man because of, surprise, surprise, the state Feliz Ano Nuevo Hermana, hashtag Magto, hashtag SYSBM. Thank you for the super chat, Darius Coleman. I appreciate you. Well, I mean, look, there are a lot of women who and men who are out here saying they don't want any kids but the main thing I hear them saying is they don't want kids by just any woman. They don't want kids by a ratchet woman, a woman who's going to take advantage of them and just, not really want to be with them and somebody who might walk away from the relationship. I think there's a fear in men, who are looking to have families because they can't find the right women to create a family with. Because a lot of these women already created their kids. They're not really looking for a real family. They just want to finesse men because they want somebody to come in and take care of their already existing family. So I do think it could be a gamble and a risk, but it always had everything to do with the type of person that you choose to create a family with. And there are a lot of men who went out here and had relationships with women who they thought were good women and got them pregnant, didn't marry them, and they end up taking them to the cleaners or breaking up the relationship and taking the kid with them. So I think a lot of men don't want to risk that. They don't want to start something with somebody that they think might be a good person and then end up not being that. And then now they got to potentially lose their kid and the relationship and their money. So I think it is a gamble. Thank you, Darius. I appreciate you for the super chat. But it's just a hot mess. And I think the fix, once again, and we talked about this months ago, the fix is going to start with the women. That's just how I see it. John Tell says, if your kids are such an honor, where's the father? Right. Because it's a bunch of BS. They're not really speaking anything that makes sense. You're just speaking to be speaking, and you want people to believe what you're saying when it's just not believable. Because your actions dictate what you believe. If you believe certain things, then you respond accordingly. Thank you, John Tell. I appreciate you. So it's not about, just say whatever they want to say that sounds popular, but, you're not really saying much because you're not doing anything. and you just want to sit around here and make excuses for your choices and the consequences associated with it and just constantly blame. My thing is this: do what you want to do, but don't blame everybody else for it. Just once again, I look at the end of the day, and I say this all the time, and it's not that I'm insensitive. It's like, no, you make a choice, stand on business. Stand on business. I can respect that. And you tell me, you know what, girl, DeeDee, girl, I ain't trying to hear that shit you saying. I got my babies and I'm gonna raise them, and I wasn't caring about no man, and I'm gonna take care of them. Yeah, I'm gonna finesse these ninjas and get what I want or whatever I can, and I'm gonna take care of my kids. Yeah, it's wrong, but this is my choice, and nobody ain't gonna stop me. But I ain't gonna blame these ninjas. It's what I want to do, and I'm gonna do it. I can respect you telling me that, because at least that's your choice. Because we are all here to make the choices that we want in life. Whether I agree with it, whether you agree with it, whether it's good, bad, it's your choice, and you have the right to make the choice. But all I'm saying is make your choice, but understand the consequences come with your choice. When you start experiencing the consequences of your choices, accept it, stand on it, and don't complain about that shit. That's all I'm saying. Stand on business and accept your fate. That's all I'm saying. Irving Hunt, thank you so much for the super chat. Says just joining. Happy New Year, DeeDee. Happy New Year to you, Irving. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Stand on business for real. Do you, and don't complain. Because see, the problem is the complaining and the entitlements and thinking that somebody owe you something. Nobody don't owe you a goddamn thing. Only thing you are owed is what you give to yourself. And if you didn't set your life up like that, well, damn, you get what you get. And that's the only issue. We all free to do what we want to do, but don't complain about the outcomes and thinking somebody's supposed to run to your defense and help you out. You wasn't looking for that at first. You didn't prioritize having somebody to be on your side and be there to defend you and protect you. You didn't care about that at first. So now that you done jacked it up, now you want everybody to come and cater to you and give you the world when you didn't even care about giving yourself the world from day one. So why is that somebody else's responsibility, boo? That's all I'm saying. Stand on business, accept your fate, and shut the hell up. That's all. Because it's too much complaining and pushing and pointing the blame when the blame should be on you. Look in the mirror, look at yourself, take accountability and say, damn, you effed up. That's all I'm saying. Hit the like button, y'all. We got 173 watching, y'all. Go ahead but only 125 likes. Go ahead and hit the like button, y'all. Hit the like button, hit the like button. So it's the matriarchy that's got these women like this. I don't care what nobody say. That's my belief. That's what I think, and I'm going to stand on it. Because a lot of these women are jacked up, and we see it. We see it happening right before our eyes, but a lot of them just want to act like, oh, that ain't, oh, well, don't point it at the women. Well, y'all been pointing at the men for years. I was a kid hearing how men are dogs and this and that. And I'm real grown with grown kids of my own, and they still saying it. And no accountability for women. All the ish that these women have done. We gotta hold it on both sides. That's all I'm saying. Keep it equal. Y'all wanted it equal. You got it. So now there's equal consequences. There's equal consequences. That's it. So that's my thoughts on that. I want to pull up another, of course, another clip for you guys. Make sure y'all are hitting the like button. Please hit the like button. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and pull up a couple of more clips for you guys that I want to share, and I want to get y'all thoughts on it. Here we go.
I'm saying dumb shit when y'all get into it trying to hurt your feelings. What you won't do, another nigga will. Shut the fuck up. You had 37 niggas before me. Ain't now one of them did shit for your ass. You know how many niggas want me? You saying that like you had a bunch of gentlemen just waiting to be your knight in shining armor. Them niggas just want to fuck, just like I did when I first met your ass. I just ended up liking you a little more than I expected because you had Section 8. Don't let them niggas fool you. Y'all gotta fucking humble y'all self, ladies. Y'all ain't getting no fucking younger. A lot of y'all got cute faces now. Y'all got nice bodies now. But your mamas and aunties did too when they was your fucking age. Now they built like bleach bottles and shit. Listening to Mary J. Blige still fucking a nigga she said was your uncle when you was 12. Y'all better fucking humble y'all self or y'all end up like your mamas and aunties.
Listen, now that was funny. I wanted to throw that in there because it's true. It's true. And unfortunately, a lot of these women walking around like they ish don't stink and they so great. Every woman is a 10. Every woman is a 10. Every woman is just, every woman is so great. Every vagina is so great, and all you men would be so lucky to be with any of these women with the bonnets on, and it's just insane to me. There's no humility whatsoever. All they always think is, oh, every man is trying to humble you. No, you need to be humbled yourself. Somebody need to tell you to humble yourself. There's nothing wrong with being humble. But they make everything a negative thing. Everything got to be negative when it points to them being accountable. Everything has to be a negative when you're telling them, hey, get your shit together. But as long as you can point out how horrible men are and they dusty and they broke, it's all good. But if they turn around and say, well, you just as broke. If I'm broke, you broker. But we can't say that because you can't call a broke woman broke. You just got to act like she's not broke and she's a bad bitch and you got to just accept it. No, you're broke. You broke. I don't care if you're a woman or a man. Y'all call men broke and y'all out here looking for men with money. So that says you're broke. You're struggling. You're the dusty and you're looking for a man to come and take care of you. So why is so much of the shaming? So much of the shaming men on every front. It's like, I think they jealous of the men because clearly they want to be like the men. They're men who are bosses. Now you got boss chicks. The men are naturally masculine. Now y'all want to be masculine. Now y'all want to be, that's the whole goal, right? To be equal to a man. So it seems to me y'all want to be like men. Oh, men are dogs and they cheat. But the minute y'all got a chance, y'all's out there busting it open, spreading it wide and getting as many bodies as you can to prove that you're just as equal to a man. And then just to find out that all the men aren't out here laying it out like that. There's not as many baby deadbeat dads as y'all thought. And then when you find out that there are more men out here who don't have kids and looking for wives and want kids and they're upstanding men, now y'all intimidated by them. So now you start saying, oh, men are intimidated by success. No, you can't get a man that's worth something because you ain't worth nothing and your degree doesn't make it any better. See, that's the stuff they don't want to hear because that's old bashing women, but y'all could bash men to the end of days, right? You could bash men as long as you want and it's supposed to be accepted. But as soon as they flip that script and turn it on you and say, point out your flaws and where you're lacking. Oh my God. Oh, he's sassy. Why don't you talk to a female like that? They're a female all of a sudden. See, he's sassy. I can't deal with a man who talks to a female. Well, why should a man deal with a woman who talks to a man like that? Huh? Why should men take you seriously when you talk to them like that? When you disrespect them, you have no regard for their feelings. You could care less how you treat them. You think that that's okay. But then you want the most out of him. Where they do that at? What incentive would that be for a man to sit there and allow you to treat him dirty, talk to him crazy, belittle him, make him feel small? And they do this on purpose to make you feel better. And you think that that's okay, but nobody cares about that, right? So why would these men take y'all seriously? Why would they put you in the highest regard when you don't even put yourself there? And all you do is talk trash about these men, and these the same men you want to come and rescue you and bail you out and take care of your goddamn kids. Y'all think men are stupid. I said this before. They really do. But they're realizing they ain't. They realizing it's a different party. No, these are not the stepdaddies from the 70s and the 80s, baby. These men are not trying to do that whatsoever. And you could call them sassy or whatever you want. They don't give a damn. And they marching to their own beat. How you say it? Marching to the drum or their own beat or something, however that go. They don't give a damn. And that's going to be an upset for these women because when these women when it really starts to kick in, that these men ain't trying to date y'all, trying to pay your bills, y'all going to be up to shit creek. I'm just telling you. Or you just going to have to start being more responsible. I already complaining about, men don't court women. What's there to court? Y'all not the type of women that they want to court. That's what they trying to tell y'all. And you don't want to get your shit together. So, because you think because you got a bachelor's degree that you're special. No, you're not. You're just in debt. You can't handle the truth. Yeah. Avenge the ancestors. I'm sorry. Thank you for the super chat. Says DeeDee, sister, you're always right. I'm not always right. Trust me. I ain't always right, but I appreciate the super chat. I'm not always right, and I don't want to always be right. I just call it like I see it. You know what I'm saying? And until things change, then it'll be different. Because listen, this is not, like I said, this isn't something I just see on social media. I've seen it growing up. I see it in my own family. So it's a real deal. People say the social media and the real world is separate, but it intertwines at some point because a lot of this stuff is happening in the real world and we see it. You know what I'm saying? And so it's just like, it's just crazy to me. It really is. It's crazy. And you know, it's funny because like I said before, I have sons and I'm just like, what kind of women, I'm anxious to see what kind of young women they going to end up marrying, or if they going to find somebody that's marriage material, because it's not looking good out here, because it's, you know, it's just not. It's just not. Thank you, Avenge the Ancestors. I appreciate you. It really is a mess. Success Remedy says, legend has it that dogs lay with dogs. Shit. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you. But they don't see it like that. They really don't. Classy Perspective. What's going on, Classy? Thank you so much for being here. And the super chat says she's a bad B with a bad bad pH level, bad baby daddies, bad children, bad in debt. Yeah, they bad. Yes, they are, child. But you're supposed to ignore that. That brings me to, I see so much content, Lord. I need to start. I'm trying. Look, it takes me a minute to get to everything. But I saw a video of this man complaining about his girl. He was like, she smelled bad. He told her, and then she tried to shame him. He was like, you trying to get mad because you stink? I'm like, what is going on? It's like, I don't know where the delusion started. How did it get this bad? All people are saying is, look, you be accountable for your actions and try to make some changes. Try to do better. That's it. You know, every time you tell somebody to do better, they start blaming the next. That's a red flag. But yeah, how do we get to this place where everybody, all women, think they're just so much better than men? It's crazy. It really is. Thank you once again, Classy Perspective. I appreciate you, brother. Darius Coleman says, free from the nonsense, guilt, and shame. Can't trust no hoe because they the ones to blame. With everything I've been through, seen and touched, got a mental instinct. Is that whole number? A whole talk too much. Technique. Listen, Darius, I appreciate your super chats, but baby, I don't be fully understand. It's just me. I don't be fully understanding them, but I appreciate you. I get what you're saying though. Thank you for the super chat, Darius. I appreciate you. Baby. Let's move on. I want to play this other clip of this woman. Let's see. Okay. She, you know, she's talking about her experience as a single mother. And listen, this video, I think that it's important for other women to see, and other women who, are contemplating maybe, or thinking about becoming a single mother and thinking, oh, you shouldn't prioritize a husband first. Even though people like to try to say, oh, well, you could get a divorce. Yeah, you could. But if you, but I mean, that's not, that doesn't mean that you should just go out and just become a single mother because, okay, you could possibly get a divorce and you could not. But at least your child will have a father who wants to be in a child's life. And hopefully you want the father to be in a child's life, as opposed to just going out here and busting it open, just let somebody run up in you and just give you a baby and he's nowhere to be found. And you think it's better to be a single mother and raise that child all by yourself. You think that that's better? Then think again. Just listen to this. Here we go.
When some days you just want to cry and it feel like you want to die, you have to somehow figure out how to get your shit together before you in front of your child. They don't talk about that. They do not. As easy as all this single parent shit looks, bro, this shit is really fucking hard when your mental is beating your fucking life. Like, I just want to cry so bad right now, but I can't. Life is just so fucking crazy to me. Like, what people believe to be the happiest people are really going through the hardest fucking times in life. And like, you literally have to pep talk yourself every fucking day and just keep going. Like, it is literally not fucking easy being me. But every day I have to look myself in the fucking mirror and give me a fucking pep talk that I one day hope I fucking believe, so I can finally feel feel better about my mother. I just need a fucking break. But then I remember there's somebody out here who is living a worse life than me, and I just need to be grateful because in some form of way, I am living in a prayer that I want to ask God for. And despite what I feel now, I need to be grateful for the little bit He has given to me because He will never give me more until I show gratitude for what is in front of me. This is the life of a fucking single mom.
Well, once again, a lot of these women know that it's rough. They complain about it. This is why they need the support, the child support and all of that. It's difficult. You talk about it every day. You talk about how hard it is raising a kid by yourself. It's hard. They complain about it all the time, but why is it continuously being perpetuated? Why most single mothers will become a two, 3 time, 4 time single mother? Why is it something that they keep doing? Because I think they know it's hard. But once again, I don't know. I don't know what the hell. Like, what do you think that is going to get easier the more children you have? What? And the more baby fathers you have, and while I can be empathetic to a person's struggle, I'm not a cold-hearted, mean person. I understand the what people go through. I am very empathetic towards people who are going through things. It's just I'm a woman. I'm emotional. I understand the struggle of individuals, men and women. But I also understand that it's a choice. I also know that you have to learn from your mistakes. I could be empathetic all day. I can even help and support in a way. But at what point are you going to take accountability and make a change? You can't keep doing the same thing over and over and over and over, expecting a different result. And you can't keep doing it with the idea of thinking that people are just supposed to cater to you and feel sorry for you and empathize with you and want to support you. And that's what happens. And I think at some point that has to stop. You have to start being accountable and not just saying you're accountable, but actually doing something to make a change. And for some reason, that's the hardest thing for a lot of women to do. And like I said, with her situation, she realizes it's difficult, it's hard. But I mean, even when you're married and you have a husband, it's still hard. You think that it's easy raising children? Who said it was going to be easy? Who said it's a walk in the park to actually have to raise babies? Like literally raise them, feed them, clothe them, take care of them, teach them stuff, give them information. That is a difficult job. Who said it was going to be easy? But it's a job that a lot of people sign up for. And now it's like you jump into something not understanding, once again, the consequences, not understanding what you're getting yourself into, because nobody's teaching these people the right things. Everybody's about a good time. Everybody want to just have fun. Everything is about fun and being happy 24/7. That's unrealistic. And that's why I think we've gotten off the mark too. Everything is about, I got to be happy 24/7. If it don't serve me, I don't want it. So if your kids get on your nerves and your kids get sick and you got to take care of them and you can't go out, what you going to do? Are you going to leave them hanging? Are you going to walk away from your kids? Like, it's just, I don't understand where we've gotten to this point where everything is a party. Everything is about fun and having fun and not really focus on realistic goals and realistic aspects of life itself and the things that people go through. There are people out here who are struggling for their lives. There are people who are out here sick, struggling for their lives. People going through stuff every single day. And they don't get out here and complain. You know how the people on dialysis or people getting cancer treatments and they don't have a camera in front of their face to tell you, oh, I'm so sick, feel sorry for me. No, they're going through it. They get through it one way or they'll get through it another. But a lot of these people make their beds and then they don't want to lie in it. And then you want somebody to come and feel sorry for you and just give you the world. That does not work that way. That's just, that is just insanity to me. For real. I don't get it. I don't get it. Darius, thank you once again for the super chat. Says, if anyone wants to know how we got here, blame LBJ, 1964 Civil Rights Act, and also check out a documentary called The Vanishing Black Family, hashtag Lone Ranger. I am familiar with that, Darius, and that definitely played a big part in it. But I mean, listen, I think a lot of people understand that and how we get to this point, but how do we get out of it? Because it's like, I feel like it's just getting worse. You know, how do we get out of it? It's so entrenched and so deep rooted. It's like it's not going to change. It's only getting worse. And I mean, listen, there's only so much you can try to tell somebody and try to change their mentality. But and then on top of that, Darius, we live in a society where I don't think they wanted to change either. I don't think, because they could shift this. You know, don't you think that they could shift the narrative if they wanted to? They've never shifted. They could shift this and start promoting something more positive, and then and getting people to change the child support laws and all that. But people are benefiting from all of this. And it's not the Black community. There are people who are benefiting from putting men on child support. They don't care how the man lives or thrives, or what's best for him and him seeing the kids. They getting paid off of it. So nobody really cares to make the changes or to, better the situation amongst Black people, because it was always a narrative in the first place. For this very same thing to happen, that's what's happening. Separate the men from the women. Make the women feel special. Give them a job. Give them education. And they won't even want to deal with their men. Because to me, they understand the importance of family. They understand the importance of the family structure, the husband, the wife, and the kids. They understand it. That's why every other community, they have it. And we're at the bottom when it comes to that. They understand if you destroy the Black family, then you should destroy the Black people. So it was always a narrative put in place to do it. And these fools just fall right into it. Oh, I don't need these men, these Black men. Let's go to other races of men where white men are not marrying Black women like that. And they really out here, these divestors really, really kill me, because they really be out here thinking, well, we got other options. Okay, go ahead and try it and see how that works out. You never really see a bunch of Black women married to white men in droves, because it's not happening. But they feel good about trying, And it's just a mess. I really, but it's understood what this would do to our community. This was a plan, in my opinion, and it worked. And now it's on autopilot. They don't have to try to convince or put it out there. They've drank the Kool-Aid. They sipped the wine, and they really just deep into it. Oh yeah, we really don't need these men, and they hate men, Black men. But it's still not going to benefit them in the long run, and that's what they're starting to see. Thank you once again, Darius, for the super chat. I appreciate you. So yeah, it's just a mess. Joe Jet, thank you for the super chat. Says, how do we get out of it? By embracing what people are running from, patriarchy. Well, good luck with that, because I mean they're still running from it. They don't want to listen to anything a man has to say, because they know it all, because they've been to school. They got a degree. Thank you, Joe Jet, for the super chat. They got a degree. They ain't trying to listen to that. That's the very thing they're running, and they're still running from it. So anything that has to do with a man being the head of the household and taking the lead and guiding his family and making the decisions, they don't want nothing to do with it. But at the same time, we want leaders. We need a man who can lead us. It's a bunch of lies. No, you don't. You low key want a man to lead in certain areas, and then you want to lead the rest of the way. Women, as I say, the nature of a woman, I understand. Women are very fickle and very confused and very back and forth. Women have a hard time making solid decisions and sticking with it, because we'll say we want something, and then at the last minute we change our minds. That's why they have those videos of these women, the man asking, you want something to eat? I'm going to get something to eat. You want what you want? They have a hard time saying what they want. Then if they said, then, oh no, I want this, and switching it up. This is why a lot of people don't think that women are good leaders, because they're emotional, they're illogical. You don't know how to make sound decisions and stick with it. You change, you flip flop. I know, I'm a woman. I've done it. I'm guilty of it too. I could be honest about it. Yes. I've been very confusing before. I do it too. I'm gonna do it. That's how I know it's real. But I'm acknowledging it, and by acknowledging it, I understand that, hey, no, you can't always do that. Look, my husband had to tell me, look, make a decision and stick with it. My husband has to tell me that. Make a decision and stick with it. Cause I'm a flip flop. I flip flop. I'll say I want this, then I switch around. And then he don't have time for that. He don't got time for that. He like, look, you better say what you want and stick with it, or you get nothing. That's my husband. But he'll still get something. It's just like he let me know, look, you need to work on that. Make a decision and stick with it. Stop, yo-yoing and flip-flopping and stuff. So this is why I think men are important, because women, we're off. We can be off the chain, off the rails. If we're left to our own devices, we think too much. We talk too much. We're confused a lot. We go back and forth. We don't know how to make sound decisions. We're scared to make decisions because we don't want to mess it up. We don't want to make a mistake. And if we make the wrong decision, we will ask somebody, because if it falls apart, then you want to blame them. You don't want to take accountability. So it's a lot going on with us. And I think women know it, but they hate to accept it. And they, once again, if you can blame somebody, you will. But you don't want to blame yourself. See, it's crazy. That's why I say with a man, when it comes to a man and a woman, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. And especially if you have a woman who hates to be accountable, who doesn't want to acknowledge her faults and things. To me, that is very, very important, because it will tell you whether you will be able to work with this woman or not. And the fact that she's unaccountable and she's illogical and she doesn't want to accept any of her faults, that's going to be a very difficult person to work with. And that's just red flags 100% of the time. And I think women are like that. Women want to be right all the time, even if they know they're wrong. And that's and anybody who's talking about, that's a real problem. That's why relationships fail too. Because the women are fighting to be right. They're fighting to be better than a man. You're fighting to do better than him and be better. And a lot of times you're not. And they hate to accept that. Most women want to believe that they're better than men. That's just it. They want to believe they're stronger than men. Hell, if they believe they can fight off a bear, you know something is wrong there. If they pick a bear over a man, you know they got problems. If you think you can go out in the wild and survive a bear attack and you not get all, eaten up, and you stronger than that bear, something is wrong with you. So they want to be equal to a man, if not better. They think they're right all the time. They think men don't understand. They like to think men are stupid and don't have no sense. They think, oh, men are just, duh. I've heard, that lady on The View, she straight disrespected her husband. That older one, I don't know her name. Not talking about, her husband, if he didn't know, if he gets up in the morning and he don't know which way he's going, he can't do something. But this man has worked himself to become a millionaire, damn near, whatever he is, billionaire. Her husband is very successful, but he don't know how to do the simple things you're talking about. And they belittle their men because I think they want to be them. It's a competition to see who can do better. And women already believe that they can do better. So I just got to show you, see? And that's what the corporate America, getting to the top, being this boss chick, making all this money is all about. You got to show that you're better than a man. And then you want a man to come and follow your lead. That's just what it is. They don't want a man leading because they are the leaders. They're the new men. They're the new men. That's how I see it. They're the new men, but they're struggling. They're struggling to be the new men. They think they're better than men, but they're having a hard time. They're breaking down. Anytime you hear a woman say she has 4 degrees, and so she makes good money, I would assume. And, even though she has a husband, she's tired of working. She don't want to work anymore. You want a soft life. You want a life of leisure. You want to sit back and not have to do anything. Well, what's the point of working hard? To prove a point, to show that you could do it. That's it. But you don't want to maintain it. You don't want to do it for the long haul. See, men can't do that. Men gotta keep doing it. They gotta keep working because they gotta take care of themselves. They gotta prepare for their lives and their future or whatever. These women want to half-ass the situation, but they want to make a point. See, I can do it, but I can't maintain it. So I need y'all to come in and maintain it. What's the point? Scorpion Chris says, Joe Jet, they have no end game. Okay, he's talking. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you. Darius says the system is rigged so far in women's favor, and anything they do to bring men back to the table will cut down women's benefit and yes, patriarchy. Exactly. I agree. Thank you, Darius, once again for the super chat. Uh, Fuzzy Balls, Lord have mercy. Thank you for the super chat. Says everyone telling women to be a boss babe when most men don't want that. The gender pay gap is the biggest lie. Men work more hours and overtime, which isn't factored in. So also 93% of the job fatalities are men. Respect that. I agree. I agree. But you know, and once again, and I've heard people speak to this where women talk about the and thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you. Women talk about the disparities and the pay gap. Yeah, it is a fallacy because they're talking about jobs that don't require like manual labor, like the dangerous jobs that men do. They're talking about, cushion jobs, where they make up, or certain jobs, in areas that women tend to do, because most women don't go into the type of jobs that are dangerous. And if you think about, and of course you already know this, the jobs that a lot of men do are more serious, dangerous jobs that a lot of women don't choose to do. It's not that they can't do it. They don't choose to do it because most women don't want to work outside. They don't want to do hard labor. You don't want to do these manufacturing or these real jobs that require heavy equipment and where you could actually lose a limb or something like that. And they don't, and they understand it, but once again, they don't care. You want what you want, and you don't care about anything else. So that's the problem when it comes to that. Yeah, of course, the gender pay gap is a lie. A lot of these women don't go for the strenuous jobs that would pay more. Women want cushion jobs, and they want to get paid a lot for doing it. So when we talk about men making more in the fields that the engineering and all of those jobs that will require strenuous labor and all of that men typically do, women not going for that. So wouldn't you think, and for women watching, it would make sense that the men would get paid more doing those jobs, because those jobs require more of their time and more of a skill set, and they're dangerous jobs. So once again, I think these women play dumb. They know better, but they'll put something out there and they're going to try to get what they want. So if they can get paid more for doing hair, or, doing, I don't know, whatever cushion job they can get, if they can convince people that, oh, there's a disparity in the pay when it comes to women and men doing certain jobs, they will do it. I told you, a woman, she's gonna go out and shoot her shot. She's gonna try to get what she wants. If she fails, she fails, but she's gonna definitely put it out there. They're gonna put it out there to try to push a narrative that they know is not real, in order to get what they want. That's just how a lot of women move, because they're selfish. You don't care about anything else. You just want your way, and if you can get it, you're gonna try to get it. So I 100% agree with that statement. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you. Yeah, we know that it's a bunch of BS. A lot of women are very selfish. That's in their nature. And I always say this: if you give a woman an inch, she's gonna take a mile, and if you keep letting her do it, she's gonna continue to do it. So, and they don't like correction. That's why they don't like accountability, because it does not benefit them. Anything that benefits them, whether it's fair or not, they're gonna take advantage of it. Darius says the ultimatum is patriarchy or it all burns down. Thank you, Darius. Once again, I appreciate you. Pharaoh says American Black women, they still the least married. I'm gonna get African or Asian dominatrix draws while singing "How Does It Feel?" Yes, Lord. Well, I hope you get it, Pharaoh. I hope you get what you're looking for, Pharaoh. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you. He a mess, baby. Yeah, the Anna Navarro, that's the lady. That's her. I think that's the one. She was talking about her husband, and I just looked at her. Those ladies over there are just, I don't know. I mean, Jesus. They lost causes, in my opinion. Yeah, that Sunny Holston, oh my God, I can't stand her. And that Anna Navarro one, oh my God, these women are just awful, in my opinion. I'm just saying. All right, let's move on. All right, so I got another clip for you guys that we're going to react to, and then we're going to wrap this up. Make sure y'all hit the like button, please. Hit the like button, please. Hit the like button. We're almost there. We got 197 watching and 189 in likes. So go ahead and hit the like button if you haven't already. That would definitely help the channel out. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull up this other clip that I thought was very interesting for you guys. And we're gonna go through this. So make sure you guys are hitting the like button. All right. Here we go.
You seem very sad.
No, I'm fine.
How old are you, honey?
30.
30. You want to sit up so we can see your full face?
Oh, my back. Yeah.
Hello?
Like this?
Yes. What's your name, baby?
Justina.
Your name is Food Stamp Lady?
Yeah.
Why is your name Food Stamp Lady?
Because I get ABT.
Oh, because you get food stamps.
I think that shit is
What?
funny. Why would you call yourself the food stamp lady? It's so dumb. Why would you ignorant, Lord? Why would you call yourself food stamp lady? Like, are you looking to get a serious man? You trying to get a man who gonna come get some of your food stamps, baby? Lord, have mercy. Let's continue.
What? Listen, TikTok is TikToking, okay? So I'm just trying to understand. I'm new to TikTok. I just came over here, child. So I'm trying to learn what's going on. So it's Food Stamp Lady. Okay. Okay, she the Food Stamp Lady. That's what you want people to call you, right?
Nah.
No? You don't want people to call you the Food Stamp Lady?
Nah, you can call me my name.
What's your name, honey?
Why didn't you put your name?
Justina.
Justina. And where you calling us from?
I'm from PA.
Pennsylvania?
Yeah.
How old are you?
30.
30. What you do for a living?
Currently, I'm unemployed. I'm a stay-home mom.
How old are your kids? How many kids do you have?
I have 2.
How old are your 2 kids?
One is 14, and the other, sorry, and the other one is 12.
Both by the same man?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Have you ever been married?
No, never.
Okay. Since you're unemployed, how are you paying your bills?
Welfare pays for me.
Do you feel like you're in a position to start dating? Are you pursuing going back to work? What's the plan?
No. I desire to be a stay-home mom and a stay-home wife.
Oh, you want a man to marry you, and instead of you getting welfare, you have a husband.
I want the man to be the provider.
What happened with your children's dad? Why can't y'all be together?
He's married. He's taken.
Was he married before you guys had kids?
Huh?
Was he married before you guys had kids?
Mm-mm.
So why couldn't y'all get married? Why couldn't he be the provider for you?
He didn't desire any of that.
With you. He just wanted to have 2 kids by you.
Yeah, that's it.
So he had 2 kids by you and decided to marry somebody else.
Mm-hmm. He has other kids, but
This is all true, Justine. You're not trolling me.
No, I'm not trolling.
Okay. So now the goal is for you.
Different baby mothers, and he's married.
Say one more time, honey.
He got 3 baby mothers, 4 kids, and now he's married.
Which baby mom are you?
I'm baby mama number 1.
He has 3 more after you.
Mm-hmm.
How long have you been unemployed for?
I've been unemployed for a long time.
So
This been going on for years because my baby father, when I got with him, he wanted me to be a stay-home mom and take care of kids. So then,
So now you don't want to go back to work. You just want to find a man that will marry you and provide for you and your children.
yeah.
She think that's funny. And Kendra, I don't know. I felt like Kendra was going in more on her. Did y'all notice that? Or did y'all? Am I tripping? I don't know. It seems like Kendra. This day, Kendra wasn't for it. I don't think she was. She was like maybe over it. I don't know. But Kendra was like grilling her more than I've seen her do some other women. I don't know if it's just me or what, or she just was tired of the BS. I don't know, but it just seemed like she didn't let up on her. Successful MD says, look like she sits and eats snacks all day. She probably, I mean, look at her. She couldn't barely sit up, child. Girl, put the snacks down. Don't do it. You know. I mean, how big you want your back to be? God dang. I'm just saying, like, yeah, she do though. She literally do. She if they had put the person who sit back and eat snacks all day, I could see her face there. I could see her face as that as a representation. I mean, there's some others I could see too, like some of the 600-pound life people, but she can barely sit up and she looks tired and stuff. She's tired. She's tired because she's big. You know, being too big makes you tired. You know, anytime you ever notice if you gain a little weight, you get a little winded, a little feel tired. I know when I've gained weight, I feel like tired. So that's when I gotta get on the treadmill. I gotta start doing something. Cause listen, you can't let yourself get too big because that don't feel good. That don't feel good at all. You just be tired all the time. You get stiff. You can't move. And she really do look like she just sit there and put the chips on her chest and just sit there and eat them all day. I ain't gonna lie, she do. Thank you for the super chat, Successful MD. Oh Lord. Oh Lord. Neotech, thank you for the super chat. Says, what's happening? Talk about no effort made. Single mom with no life. She is a train crash. Is she high? Wild? Wife? Kendra show is ratchet. It's the people that come on the show is ratchet. Thank you, Neotech, for the super chat. Yes, the people that come on there are the they make it ratchet because they bring the ratchetity. Yeah. Let's continue.
How you want him to look? How you want him to look? How should this man look?
He gotta be black. And he
Black?
gotta be
Okay. Hold on
over,
a second. I'm gonna write down all
he
this.
gotta be like 6 feet.
All right. So you gotta be black?
Yeah, he gotta be black because
Black. What's your ethnicity?
I'm Puerto Rican.
Puerto Rican. He gotta be 6 feet, right?
About, yeah.
He gotta make a certain amount of money?
Yeah, he do. He gotta make over 100K.
Over 100K. So black, 6 feet, over 100K. Could he have kids?
Yeah, he can have kids.
You don't mind if he has kids, okay. So here he is, right here. This is the man for you. This is gonna be him. Black, 6 feet,
Oh, yeah, I
over
remember.
100K. What's your
You
address
bigger baby.
so I can send it to you in the
Oh,
mail?
Lord.
So this the closest you gonna get to a black 6 feet man that makes over 100K. That's gonna provide for you and your children. So what's your address, or I can email it to you?
I'm done.
Me too. Me too.
I
I wish you
be
well.
submissive.
She said she trolling. She
What
probably
happened,
is
honey?
trolling.
But
Girl,
why
I
you
am not. Let me tell you
trolling?
something. Y'all must be thinking I'm Jesus. I'm
But
not God.
I'm not
I can't. I
trolling.
don't
You
know.
do. But
I don't know. I
Kendra,
think I'm the make
They
the wish
do be trolling,
foundation.
baby. They just
but
want some
how
attention.
he's supposed to take care of me and my kids plus himself and his kids and the
Trolling.
the roof and etc.
Baby
He
girl,
got
real quick, I'm gonna
he
be
gotta
honest
be
with you.
realistic
I'm gonna.
here. He
Cause
can't make
I have a
Wait,
question.
wait.
I'm sincerely. Are you a comedian?
How is she taking care of it? Oh, the government. So how are you doing it with the government? Why he gotta make so much? Why he gotta make 6 figures, girl? You got the kids. You got a roof, right? Your kids got a roof. You taking care of them, right? You got some resources, whether it's the government or not. You got resources. So why he gotta come in and make? You don't make 6 figures. You're doing just fine apparently with the government. So why he gotta come with so much? I'm just saying when you getting the government is taking care of you. So why does he got to come in with so much? I don't understand. When you don't have all that, so why is all that necessary? Pharaoh says, "I wish Kevin Samuels was here." What is it? Solo Kaka. Thank you. I'm about to call you Kevin Samuels. Thank you, Pharaoh. I appreciate you for the super chat. Yeah, yep. Because he's definitely missed in these YouTube streets. I will say, and they still post videos of his, but boy, he was definitely needed for real. Thank you, Pharaoh. For real, for real. Successful Emily says she looks like the woman on the Addams Family. Oh, she do the fat face one. A fat face version though. A fat face version. Successful MD. Thank you for the super chat. Fuzzy says, you know you're too big if you stand up and look down towards your feet. And if you can't see them, get to walking. Right. And a lot of these women be super short. Like they be like 5'5", and they be weighing like 180 pounds. It's too big. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of them are short and they weigh a lot. Some of them 200 pounds. That's too much weight on that frame. But you're right. Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate you. Let's continue.
Comedian.
No, I'm not a comedian.
No, sorry, I want to be clear because people think I have actors on my shows at time, and I need to know: are you trolling me right now?
I'm not trolling. He can't make 75K. He has to make more than 75K. I have two. It's me, two, and my two kids.
Why would a man that's black, that's 6 feet, that makes over 100K sign up for that? Why would he do that?
I mean, why wouldn't he do it?
Have you met one that was willing to do it yet?
No, not yet. But I met a Puerto Rican guy that did it.
Well, you should have closed that deal. You need to call him back. You need to close the deal with the Puerto Rican guy.
He's probably taken. I can't get him
back.
back.
You need to stop with any man. Let me say something. And this is real talk. I'm not even trying to be shady. If you find a man that you like, and long as he ain't abusive, none of that, those type of things, that is really truly willing to make this deal with you, close the deal. Close it. If you find a man that's willing to take care of you and your two kids and allow you not to work, and you're attracted to him, close that deal. Mm-hmm. Don't keep passing that dream by, child.
Right.
I mean, you gotta get let me tell you this. The man you describe is the most desired man on this planet. A black man that 6 feet, that makes over 100K, is the most desired man walking this planet. Every race, even you're not black. What are you? You're a Puerto Rican, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, this is a man that's desired by all women, all races. I'm a black woman. The women in the black race want him. The women in the Hispanic race want him. The women in the white race want him. Every race wants this 6 feet black man that makes over 100K.
I shouldn't desire a black man.
I'm not saying what you shouldn't desire.
Or you could desire and want what you want. That don't mean you're going to get it. I mean, you could want what you want. You could dream what you want to dream. You could believe and feel and manifest whatever you think you could. It don't mean that they're going to want you. King Black Soul, thank you for the super chat, says she sound like Biggie Smalls, child. She really act like she's sore or stiff or something. And the more she talk, the harder it is to breathe, seems like. It just seems like every word she says, she got to, take a deep breath or something. Thank you for the super chat. Oh, Lord. Pharaoh says she looks like King Kong Bundy from WWF. Y'all wrong. Thank you for the super chat, Pharaoh, once again. I appreciate you. Classy Perspective says the reason why she said black men is because we are looked at as the guy that picks up problematic women. That's our fault. Yeah, that's true. I think there's a point to that. But that's changing. That we got to change that. No, and I think it is because black men are saying we're not accepting less. We're not settling. And I think more men should be that way. Don't settle for no big back woman with kids telling you need to give her the world. Hell no. You got to get your big back ass up and go work and pay for your own goddamn kids. That man ain't got to do that. No, you got the biggest backs with the least desirable anything always are the ones who require the most. And you want a black man because you think they dumb enough to go and accept you. I don't care who you are. And I think every man, and I think y'all do, at least the men that I see and the ones that that I hear speaking have standards. They're not just settling for anything. I don't care what race you are. It doesn't matter. You a big back, any race, big back and kids already, and you ain't doing nothing to better your life for your kids. Why you think a man should come in, if any man to come in and take you on and give you a good life? Hell no, if you can't give you and your kids a good life, that's tough titty. That's on you. No man should do that. Thank you, Classy. Hell no. Y'all got to stop with this shit. These men ain't got to come in. But y'all not doing it. I'm going to believe because I see a lot of men who are saying, hell no, I'm not doing it. And I hope for real, they're not settling for stuff like this. Big backs, big everywhere. It's just all messed up. And y'all want men making good money to come in and just sweep you off your feet and give you this life of leisure where you can just continue to sit back and put snacks on your chest and eat like you want and just blow up even bigger and just be content there while this man got to go out and work. Money don't grow on trees. Well, y'all here, what y'all think these men are just sitting back while the money just pour in? These men got to go out and work for this. Hell, yeah. I mean, they act like money grow on trees, but they can't get it. They ain't getting it. You think men just gonna work hard and come home to a big bag, sitting back with snacks waste all over the bed, all over the sofa, all crumbs, just sit back and the kids walking around with diapers on, just sitting back eating chips too? That ain't it. That ain't it. Blue Exodus says Jabba the Hutt from Star Wars. Y'all crazy. Thank you, Blue Exodus, for the super chat. I appreciate you. Child, this is crazy. You know, the least desirable requires the most. You know, that is crazy. Has to be over 6 feet, make over 100K. Doesn't matter if he's married. It has to be a black king. She wants LeBron James. Baby, I know you lying. You know that ain't never happening. Come on now. Come on. That ain't happening. But you know, if somebody will fall for the okie doke, they definitely gonna be sitting there giggling and geeking and be happy about it. Oh girl, you know you don't deserve it, but if a dude is willing to come and give you what you want, you sure gonna take it and be happy about it. Neotech says she went from Rican to black. I guess what, Puerto Rican to black. Someone must have told her black men like Michelin ladies. I'm not the one. I'm not the one. Nobody's signing up for a talking what? A talking pillow? Child, a talking pillow. Thank you, Neotech. I appreciate you. Yeah, I mean, come on. But see, it's you know, if you say something about it, you're fat shaming, Neotech. It's fat shaming. You can't fat shame these women, no matter how big their backs are. You can't fat shame. You know what I'm saying? You're just supposed to accept them because they're beautiful, and you're supposed to take them at their worst. And if you don't take them at their worst, then you don't deserve them at their best. That's what they say. So you got to accept them at their worst and hope and pray to God they get better. They're going to turn from big back, what you call it, Michelin lady, to a thin, beautiful, you know, small waist, 15-pound gorgeous woman, and she's gonna be everything you need. Just give her the benefit of the doubt, give her the time, you know, put that work in and work towards it, you know what I mean? Because she's a good woman. Like, come on now, these ladies are insane. Thank you, Neil Tech. Gray Wind says, I'm 5'8", make 75K. How screwed am I dating wise? Child, listen, I think there are good women out here, but I don't know. Because the more educated these women become, the more crazier they become. And the more delusional they become. 5'8", 75K, nothing, I think that's great. But a lot of these delusional women will see that as a problem. You know what I mean? And then ones that with these big backs are the most delusional. I'm just saying. You know, they make it seem like men can't have standards. But look, keep having y'all standards. Don't let up. And I listen, I honestly don't, you know, from what I hear from you guys, I know y'all not falling for stuff like this. You know, there's somebody in the cracks though. There's some dude somewhere though who will bust this down, and that's all he trying to do, and that's gonna make her feel like they want her. And see, that's why I think those dudes gotta stop. Y'all gotta, if you know, you gotta do something, find an alternative, because going fooling with these women knowing you don't really want them is giving them this ego to think that they can ask for all this money and these types of men. I'm telling you, they really be believing that they could get. That's why when you DM them, that's such a big thing. Oh yeah, I got men. They DMing me. They think that means the men want them. That's why they think like that, because these men don't realize when you go and DM these women, it boosts their confidence. These big backs and everybody else, it boosts their confidence, and so they think, oh yeah, these men want me. And y'all be, not y'all, but whoever are the ones who be DMing these big backs saying grand rising, beautiful. Oh my God, you look so good. with all your thighs and your stomach out on your page. Ooh, you look so good. I want to talk to you. That's what's making them get that confidence to believe that they are worthy of these types of men. Cause y'all keep going in their DMs, whoever doing it, and making them feel confident enough to request all of these things from men. Y'all gotta stop doing that. The ones who doing that gotta stop. Stop making them feel great, and that's gonna force them to do something different. Because if only the attractive, slim women who really look good get the attention, they're gonna push them to get slim and become more attractive, with the hopes of getting a good man. But if they could be 300-400 pounds at 5 feet, and y'all going over there telling them grand rising, beautiful, you so pretty, ooh, I want to get with you, that's making them feel good. It's giving them that false hope. I'm just saying. Fuzzy says, no 6 foot tall, fit black man making six figures want any part of that. No white man, no Hispanic man, no Asian man. She's a 2 acting like she's a 10, baby. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you. And no lies detected, because I mean that's just what it is. It's that false sense of reality. They really be thinking that they the ish. Thank you for the super chat. Successful MD says, I wouldn't care if she's so-called 10. No thanks. I heard that. Thank you, Successful MD. Yeah, it's just, I don't know, a delusional world, I guess. And we got to accept it. How can a Teletubby have such high demands? Y'all gonna get me in trouble. Okay. Thank you for the super chat, Successful MD. I don't know why that seems accurate though. Hell, shoot. They could talk. I'm gonna leave it there. Daniel, thank you for the super chat. Daniel Jackson Reactions says, hey DeeDee, I went to your store and brought my fiance a pink duffel bag with feminine and winning on it for Christmas, and she loved it. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for the support. I appreciate it. Yeah, and that was nice to get that for your fiance. Thank you so much for the support. I hope was it okay? She loved it. Good. Cause baby, but thank you. I appreciate you, Daniel, and thank you for the support. Thank you so much. And tell your fiance I say hi. If she watched the channel, tell her I say hi. Baby, let's continue to see what this lady has to say. Here we go.
Desire. I'm just trying to educate you on all the options he's gonna have, including you.
Well,
So then,
I can't ask for a provider.
well, you're not. Well, how about provide for yourself, honey?
Right.
You're calling
I do
yourself
provide
full-stem
for
lady,
myself.
and you're proud of that.
But
I
I
think
want
that
to
I
provide
think
for
that if
you.
you want to be, you should ask for yourself a provider and get a mirror out and look in the mirror and ask that person to provide for you. The person that's in the mirror, ask them to provide for you and your children first.
So everyone on here.
I believe you're trolling me at this moment. Now you
No,
can't be serious.
but every woman on here could say what it is that they desire.
Well, listen, no. Well, words are free.
When I say I want somebody to provide or whatever is the problem.
Well, here's the thing. Words are free. You're right. Anybody can ask for anything, but I'm asking you, do you want results, or do you want to just have words and a right in your desire, or do you want results for the things that you desire? Everybody can desire anything, but honey, you have 2 children that are looking up to you. And I would just think you would want to represent as a mom the best to your ability. And if you're just okay with trying to find a free ride from some other human being, I mean, so be it. But is there anybody that's trying to give you that free ride?
It ain't about a free ride. Men are designed to be providers and protectors, etc. So,
Well,
but what are women designed to do? See, that's the real question. Okay, men are designed to be protectors and providers, but what is the role of a woman? What is the role of a wife? What's the role of the woman who gets with this protector and this provider? He's supposed to provide for his family, take care of his family, protect his family. Yes, sure. But what is the role of the woman? What is your job? What are you going to do in that situation? See, that's what's not talked about. See, that's the questions that needs to be the questions that are being asked to a lot of these women. So what do you think your role as a wife would be to your husband? What are you going to provide in the relationship with your husband? What's your role? How are you going to accommodate your husband? Because you want him to be a provider and a protector. That's not, and they say it as if it's, that's not men don't complain. That's the thing. See, but that's not no easy feat for a man to have to get out here and work hard. He has to work hard to make sure that his family is taken care of and sustained. These people don't understand. Like you don't just go out here and make some money and buy a few things today and tomorrow. No, a family is a lifetime thing. As long as that's something you have to continuously provide for and protect and take care of. And they act like it's so simple when a lot of them know they're struggling by themselves. So, I just want people to understand that, it takes a lot for men to have to get out here and work and take care of themselves, let alone a family and children. It's not an easy thing. Those men have to make a lot of sacrifices. They got to get out here and they got to make sure that they maintain. They got to think about their children's future. They got a lot on their plates. And a lot of women talk like if it's so easy for men to do this. And they act like it's nothing. Oh, well, that's what you're supposed to do. But what are you supposed to do? As the woman, what are you supposed to do? Because you shouldn't be out here spending all this money and running the streets and trying to take girl trips every weekend and just have this life of leisure and fun while this man is working his fingers to the bone to try to take care of you. That's not what you should be doing. But see, that's what they want. They want a man to be a fool, to come in and take care of them, their lifestyle, a bullshit lifestyle. Excuse my language, y'all. It just comes out. And you sit back and do nothing. That's not fair. And that's not what you should be doing as a wife. See, they don't have, they don't want to hear what they should be doing as the wife. It's all about what a man can do for you. We're supposed to do this. He's supposed to protect and provide. Well, just do it. Well, you just do what you need to do. Being 300 pounds is not what you should be doing either, but you don't want to hear about that. Being a big back to a man that's responsible, but taking care of you and the household, that's not what your job is either. You're supposed to keep yourself together. Be pleasing for that man who's taking care of you and the family. Yes, I don't think a man, you think it's healthy and responsible to sit back and become a big back and just think that that's okay and he's supposed to be okay with that? No. So there's work you got to do too. That's all I'm saying. I think once again, it's a delusional world, and a lot of women don't want to get out of that delusional state because it benefits them, Original Man says, my peers know their worth. Hell no. Exactly. And I love that. I love that men know their worth, because you should know your worth. You got to understand that these women are pining and running out here looking for y'all, but in order for them to get the man that they want, the man who has standards and know their worth, they need work. They have to work on themselves. They're not as good as they thought they were. See, as long as you had the Pookie types or the not even Pookie, because Pookie don't give a damn. Pookie doing what he want to do, and they don't have to put in no effort or nothing, because they run to the Pookies. Pookies don't have to do nothing. They run to them. But for the men who know their worth and know what it have standards, these women know they don't measure up. Thank you once again, Original Man, for the super chat. These women know they don't measure up. So, this is why they try to shame men who are responsible, men who don't have babies all over the place. Oh, a man that's 35 and single with no kids is a red flag. No, that's a red flag. That means he's responsible. He's doing it the right way. But it makes them feel small. I said this before, because you going out here and you got multiple baby daddies and you had them in your 20s and you never was married and never was responsible. And so that shows your lack of responsibility and how ratchet you are. You see what I'm saying? So, you don't want him because he's not going to put up with you. He's not going to want you. So you just eliminate yourself off of, but not really be truthfully honest about why you're eliminating yourself. Because that man, he going to make you feel dumb. Because you wasn't responsible and you didn't know what you wanted and you was just out here reckless. So a responsible man intimidates these women. I'm telling you. That's why they don't want them. They really don't want them. They just want your resources. They just want to be able to get your money. They just want you to pay their bills. That's it. They know they can't measure up to these type of men. Well, it's the big show. Pharaoh, thank you for the super chat, Pharaoh. Mr. Walker, what's going on, Mr. Walker? Get him, DeeDee. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you for the super chat. Baby, they are a hot mess. They really are. Really, really are. Let's continue, y'all.
Yeah, that was here's the reality. You should have closed that deal with your children's dad? The man you gave 2 kids?
I tried to work it out so many times, but every time I try to work it out, he always find a way to cheat on me.
Well, then, honey, you got to start learning the
That's why
man
I'm
that you
not
want.
doing it, because I want somebody that has self control and discipline, and I want somebody that is, pretty much
Baby girl, do you have the things that you're asking for?
No, she doesn't. She says self-control and
somewhat,
discipline.
but
No.
I can be for for one man,
You sure?
but
You're really being serious with me?
yeah,
You don't have like older siblings or brothers or family members?
I do have older siblings, but I'm to myself pretty much for the most part.
Let's do the Kendra cam. You want to do the Kendra cam is when you stand up.
Oh no, Kendra, I don't do the Kendra Cam
Oh,
thing.
Okay, well, we have to go. It's not an option.
can't
It's
get
a
out the
requirement.
bed.
I'm a big girl. I don't do that because I never
Either
done
way,
it
honey, it's a
before.
requirement. So we just
Oh,
end that. I don't
hell
make
no.
exceptions for my show.
But
Nah.
I'm a big girl. I'm fat.
She can't
Okay,
get
well
out
then
the
you still
bed.
gotta stand up. That's
She
the
probably
part
gonna
of
cheat
the
on
part of
like
the show,
that.
honey.
Oh
If
shit.
you don't want to do it, that's fine. But we just have to go because that's a requirement.
Oh snap.
A requirement to stand up
Yeah,
and show
she
my
can't.
body.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've never shown my
every single
body in my
guest,
You
life.
want
honey.
to
One
show
thing
the
I'm
man
not
she
gonna do
working
is argue with
That's
you.
what I'm
So are you
looking
gonna
for.
do it? If
A
you don't want to do it, okay,
husband.
we'll go. I can respect it, but we
Get
have
out
to
the
end now.
bed.
Okay, TikTok. I don't know TikTok. I don't know if I need to be on these TikTok streets. I don't know if TikTok is for Kendra G.
Nah, it ain't for me.
Okay.
I can't do too much of no
Nah,
TikTok.
y'all been
Maybe
begging me.
she couldn't
Bring
get
my
out that
ass
goddamn
over here. First of all, I don't know the rules of TikTok. Can you swear?
bed.
Because there ain't no way I'm able to host
TikTok is too
TikTok
finicky
and
for
not
me.
cuss. Ain't
Girl,
not up near a way. I might
Kendra,
have to cuss.
she couldn't get out the bed, baby. That's why she didn't want to do the Kendra Cam, baby. She couldn't get out of bed. I knew it when she was talking. She was like taking these little breaths, and she was kind of like she's bedbound. I mean, girl, you could have just stood up. You want the man to see what you big and you scared to show it? Like, come on now, come on, y'all. They be knowing. Like I said, you know, you don't measure up, and no man don't want no big back bed bound chick that can't get up and do nothing. I mean, come on, really? Why don't you work on yourself before you come on to these shows? You know what I'm saying? Just work on yourself before you come on to these shows, and before you start looking for a man, work on yourself. Successful MD says truth maybe that she wouldn't work out. He left. Probably so. Thank you for the super chat, Successful MD, baby. Anyone noticed she couldn't sit up straight? Right, exactly, from the beginning. She was like, why you first off, thank you, Successful MD, for the super chat. Why you laying down and you trying, why you don't get yourself up? First off, I mean, hell, I'm not single, but if I was single, I probably wouldn't even go on the show. But just say I did, baby, you know, I'm gonna make sure I'm looking my best. I'm gonna, because you don't know who, you know, this the new dating age. This is social media. You don't know who you might meet. So why don't you try to put your best foot forward? This is why I never understood how they come on there with their bonnets. Child, they just hair all over their head, just looking a hot mess, lips be dry, like ashy, like y'all just be having on y'all night clothes, slouched all down, laying down. Wouldn't you, baby? I would get up and I would be like, I would get up and be dressed like I'm going on a date. You know what I'm saying? And just look nice. Why? How you trying to meet somebody? Y'all not serious. That's why I think they're not serious about it. It's just entertainment. So that's why I treat it as such, because they don't be serious. You don't take it seriously. How everybody else gonna take you seriously? You just up here, just for instance, you put yourself on display for entertainment, because that's what it ends up being. You know, if you put yourself out there like that, how you think other people gonna look at you? And you trying to find a man for real. Why? It's like going on a date. Like you meet somebody, you want them to get the best impression of you from the gate. You know, you don't want to go in here looking a hot mess. Oh, I just got off work. Well, you, like she said, you click the button. Didn't you? It's a possibility she could pick you. So why not present yourself in the best way? I don't understand that. Men can really have a good life. Just be a pookie. Child, pookies be winning. I swear. I swear they do. Fuzzy, thank you, so successful. Fuzzy says she uses a shovel to eat. No, you didn't. Dang. got a headache. Y'all giving me a headache. No, don't do that. That's not right. Don't do that. I mean, yeah. Don't do that. That ain't right. Mm-mm. Damn. Oh, Lord. Baby, well, look, it is what it is. But listen, hopefully, y'all, oh, Lord, hopefully things will get better. Y'all think they will get better? What y'all think? Y'all think things gonna get better? Let me know. It's just a mess, honey. But be grateful to be alive. At the end of the day, I want everybody to be grateful that they're alive. You got breath in your body, you living, you healthy, you thriving. That's all that matters. You know what I'm saying? That's all that matters. To hell with the other BS and all the other crazy stuff people be saying. Don't worry about it. Do you live your life, stack your money, whatever you gotta do. Don't fall for the okie doke. You know what I'm saying? I personally think there's some good women out there somewhere. I don't know where they at, but hopefully they out there somewhere. And hopefully if you're out here dating and looking for them, hopefully you can find them. Otherwise, look, all you can do is live your best life and be happy and content with what you have and where you are. And that's it. That's it. Because, as long as they keep putting the foolishness out here, and I got an opinion on it, I'm gonna give my opinion, and that's that. And that's just what it is. Because hopefully, I would like to think that, and I'm just being serious now. Hopefully, I would like to think that the words that I say, the words that are coming out of my mouth, we have fun on here and we giggle and laugh, but at the end of the day, hopefully somebody could take something out of it, use a piece of what I'm saying, learn, use it to your advantage. Try it out. See if you can, do something better with your life, with the information that I'm giving. Hopefully I would love for women to realize what's important and not just think that this superficial stuff is going to, continuously benefit you. And that's just what it is. No, because it's not, and, men see what it is. I said, social media exposed the nature of women. And once that happened, men start moving differently. And while every man may not be, maybe still have some hope thinking that, if she looked like a 304, but she's a good woman, she gonna work out, look at Travis Hunter, we hoping that works out. But if it doesn't, people already saw it coming. And so hopefully, we can all do better. That's all I'm saying. And with that, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. I got to get out of here, but I appreciate each and every one of you guys for being here. Everybody who supports the channel by watching the videos. So make sure you are watching the videos that are posted on the channel. Y'all go over, watch the latest videos, hit the like button, share, leave a comment. That would definitely help me out. Also hit the like button on your way out if you haven't already. Also shout out to everybody who gave super chats or cash apps. I appreciate you for the support. Anybody who purchased merchandise, shirts or mugs or whatever, I appreciate you so much for that. That definitely helps the channel out, you guys. So hit the like button on your way out. I thank y'all so much. Once again, y'all have a happy new year. I hope you guys stay blessed, be safe out in these streets, continue to be blessed and continue to grow. And I will see you guys in the new year. So thank y'all once again for being here. I appreciate you so much. Thanks for the laughs, for the support, all of it. I appreciate it. And I will see you guys really, really soon. Take care. Mwah. I see you guys later. Bye.